Next up, it's The Adventures of Pete and Pete, followed by Get the Picture, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Alien Stage, followed by a new episode of Conclave. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Amanda Show, followed by Rocco's Modern Life. Next on Nick, it's As Told by Ginger, followed by Binka. Next up, it's The Backyardigans, followed by What Would You Do? Only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's The Backyardigans, followed by Yo Gabba Gabba, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Bananas in Pajamas, followed by Sesame Street. Coming up, it's Barney and Friends, followed by Sesame Street, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Battle for Dream Island, followed by Cars on the Road. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Battle for Dream Island, followed by Doug. Next up, it's Beetlejuice, followed by Chalk Zone, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Binka, followed by Leapfrog Scout and Friends, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Binka, followed by Paw Patrol, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Blaze and the Monster Machines, followed by The Mysterious Cities of Gold. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Cartoon Kablooey, followed by Inspector Gadget. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Cartoon Kablooey, followed by Yogi Bear. Childish Dad is next, followed by Real Monsters, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Childish Dad, followed by Wienerville. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Deer Squad, followed by The Tiny Chef Show. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Dora the Explorer, followed by The Backyardigans. Next up, it's Doug, followed by Cars on the Road, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Doug, followed by SpongeBob SquarePants, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Doug, followed by Yo Mama, only on Nickelodeon. Drake and Josh is next, followed by Legends of the Hidden Temple, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's The Fairly Odd Parents, followed by Are You Afraid of the Dark, only on Nickelodeon. Just to let you know that Figure It Out is coming up next, followed by The Amanda Show, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Figure It Out, followed by Space Cases, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Fruit Basket, followed by The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Global Guts, followed by Bullwinkle's Moose-a-Rama, only on Nickelodeon. Hello Jadoo is next, followed by K-On, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Hey Arnold, followed by Paw Patrol. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Invader Zim, followed by Jack's Big Music Show. Next, it's Kablam! Followed by Octonauts, only on Nickelodeon. Do not move your seat, because the Lucky Land Show is coming up next, followed by Kablam! Only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Lassie, followed by Rugrats. Next up, it's Leapfrog Scout and Friends, followed by Animorphs, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Leapfrog Scout and Friends, followed by Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toon Adventures, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Liberty's Kids, followed by Thomas and Friends, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching Looney Tunes, followed by Mater's Tall Tales, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's The Loud House, followed by The Fairly Odd Parents, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Muppet Babies, followed by Cat Dog, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Mater's Tall Tales, followed by Clarissa Explains It All. Stay tuned for The Muppet Show, followed by Clarissa Explains It All, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Murder Drones, followed by Nick News, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching My Hero Academia, followed by Dr. Stone, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's My Life as a Teenage Robot, followed by Star vs. the Forces of Evil, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's The Mysterious Cities of Gold, followed by Rocco's Modern Life, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching My Life as a Teenage Robot, followed by Zoe 101, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, followed by Leapfrog Scout and Friends. The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo is next, followed by Looney Tunes, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, followed by Middlemost Post. The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo is next, followed by Rugrats, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Nick News, followed by Battle for Dream Island. Coming up, it's One Piece, followed by Making Fiends, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Patrick Star Show, followed by Looney Tunes. Stay tuned for Paw Patrol, followed by Sunny Day, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Peppa Pig, followed by Wally Kazam. Next on Nick, it's Rocco's Modern Life, followed by Thomas and Friends. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Rugrats, followed by The Fairly Odd Parents. Next up, it's The Secret World of Alex Mack, followed by Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Sesame Street, followed by Thomas and Friends, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Shimmer and Shine, followed by Planet Sheen, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Skatoony, followed by Doug. Just to let you know that Skatoony is coming up next, followed by SpongeBob SquarePants, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Skatoony, followed by Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toon Adventures. Just to let you know that Space Cases is coming up next, followed by Top Wing, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by As Told by Ginger, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by Ed's World. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by The Secret World of Alex Mack. Stay tuned for SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by Sesame Street, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, followed by Kirby. Stay tuned for Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toon Adventures, followed by Bluey, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Team Umizoomi, followed by Kablam, only on Nickelodeon. Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Thomas and Friends. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Thomas and Friends, followed by Sesame Street. Next up, it's The Tiny Chef Show, followed by Oogie, only on Nickelodeon. Tom and Jerry Kids is next, followed by Ren and Stimpy, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's What Would You Do, followed by Battle for Dream Island. Next on Nickelodeon, it's The Wonder Pets, followed by Little Bill. Stay tuned for The Wonder Years, followed by Dummy, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for The Wonder Years, followed by PB&J Otter, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching Xavier Riddle and His Secret Museum, followed by Cars on the Road, only on Nickelodeon. Xavier Riddle and the Secret Museum is next, followed by Super Y, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Yo Gabba Gabba, followed by Drake and Josh, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Yogi Bear, followed by Looney Tunes. Just to let you know that You're on Nickelodeon, Charlie Brown is coming up next, followed by Leapfrog Scout and Friends, only on Nickelodeon.